All right, my guest at this time is a chef who I've interviewed many years ago, and I'm glad to have her back, Chef Apple. She's actually
Hey,
calling
what's
in,
up?
hey, and you're calling in from the West Coast.
Yeah, and I'm driving. I've been stuck in traffic for
Yeah.
like 2 hours. It's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for wanting to be back on the show after all these years. It's been a long time.
My husband, it's been like what, 10 years, I think.
Man, I don't lost track, but at this point, I've done this radio thing for almost 10 years.
Okay, so
Uh,
yeah, it's been about that. I
yeah,
think I think you had just started, like a year or two into it before I did my interview with you.
yeah. So
So
it's
how you been?
I'm good. I mean, I'm very happy to still do this. I'm nominated for an award this year for the Best DJ Award.
Woo!
Uh, Best DJ Award category for the Lexington Music Awards tomorrow evening, and I will be there.
Nice.
I will be there in attendance. It's an award show to celebrate local music, and I've been a supporter of local music for quite some time, and I got a lot of friends, former guests, are nominated. 13 former guests are nominated for at least an award.
Wow.
So
Oh,
I'm
I feel kind of left out. I mean, I wasn't nominated. What the hell?
well, it's just so overwhelming, but I'm just thankful for this opportunity, and I'm just there to look nice and be a cheerleader, cause the category,
Everybody needs a cheerleader. Everybody needs a
yeah.
cheerleader.
So I'm just very excited about it, and I look forward to see what happens tomorrow. But enough about me. But let's get to you. Um, and be,
Why? You're obviously big right now.
no, I mean, look, like when I first did the show, I've interviewed like a bunch of models, but then eventually I started interview a variety of people like chefs and reality TV stars and things like that. So in honor of the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary, every last Saturday of the month, I want to bring back a guest from the past and get caught up with them, see what they've been up to and things like
Oh
that.
my God.
So,
Okay.
so you,
Whew.
like, what's been going on with you recently, and how you feeling? What's going on with you? What you got coming up?
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, it's about to get crazy. Okay, so since we last spoke, I opened a restaurant. I had a restaurant, and I was partners in a restaurant, and that just didn't really give me kind of like the I need to find out what I want to do. And so I sold my shares out of that, opened a nightclub, kind of did the whole, brought EDM along with a bunch of other people to Baltimore. And that was kind of fun for a minute. And I kind of just progressed into slowing my life down a bit. So after a few years of owning the nightclub, I sold it, opened a coffee shop, and that did really well for about 4 years. And then Starbucks moved in, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna try and compete. And so I sold that, moved to Florida, opened a catering company. So I kind of still stayed in food. Then I went back to school, got my bachelor's in web design and development, my master's in internet marketing, and in addition to the catering company, I now own a marketing company for the food and beverage industry. I deal strictly 100% only with the food and beverage industry. So that's what I'm doing, and now I'm on the West Coast. I came over here for a few months to kind of see what's going on, see if this would be someplace that I would like to relocate to, just because most of my clients are out here. I speak. This is going to be my third year speaking at the nightclub and bar show, and usually I speak about like marketing, social media management, management of restaurants, so a lot of stuff has been going on. So my life's kind of been a little crazy, a little hectic for about 10 years. My cookbook hopefully will be published this year, fingers crossed. I'm really excited about that because it's very important and very passionate subject for me. I'm very passionate about the ingredients and the recipes because the recipes that my grandmother taught me when I was a kid, before I even knew that I was going to be a chef. So I'm extremely excited about this cookbook being published. And other than that, I'm just kind of like chilling, you know. I've become the unlikely political commentator just simply because I'm one of those people that I'm still scratching my head like, what the hell happened? So I've kind of become an unlikely political commentator and, you know, just kind of doing that. And I drove across country. So when I came to California, I drove from Miami Beach. Okay, I was as close to the edge as possible. So I drove from Miami Beach all the way to North Hollywood, which is where I live right now. And let me tell you, I have seen this country. I just have to say, we get so caught up in like our everyday life that we forget to look around and appreciate how amazing this country is. And it took me 4 days to drive up the country. And it was 4 of the most beautiful days that I've ever spent doing anything. So that's what I've been up to.
Man, so you are absolutely right. There's a
I'm
lot
just living
going.
my life on my terms right now. That's it.
Yeah. There's so much going on in this country right now, and you know, like you said earlier, people are still wondering what the hell just happened. Like,
Yep.
how did we get to this point?
That's exactly what it is. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And one thing I will say though is, you know, I spent 4 days driving, but it wasn't like full driving. It was, you know, stopping and getting out and meeting people. And there's a lot of people that are just like, I literally, like how they're like, I don't know what happened. And that, it's just, wait. And I'm not even American. I'm American now. I'm a naturalized citizen. And I'm just like literally, I'm just like, I don't know. So, that's crazy.
I guess the best way to go at this point is just take it one day at a time.
That's it.
And you know whatever happens, and
Yep.
you know,
That's it.
yeah.
That phrase has never been truer. Just take it one day at a time. Don't try and think a week ahead. Don't try and think a month ahead or a year or 4 years ahead. Just worry about today. Worry about what you can fix today. Worry about what is happening today, because that is all we have. That is the only piece of sanity that we can hold on to. It's just worry about what's happening today in this moment right now.
Very, very true. And she is on Twitter, y'all. She is at I am Chef Apple. You can check out her tweets. Very entertaining.
I will put a disclaimer up right now because
Okay.
I laughed when you said that.
Yeah.
I have a propensity to call stupid people stupid, so please forgive me if you, like I tell people all the time, if you follow me, understand I cuss like a drunken sailor. I am crass, and I am not on Twitter to appease anybody. I'm not there to make you feel good about your decision. I'm not there to make you feel bad about your decision. I am simply there to voice my opinion. So that's my disclaimer. I try to take everybody's opinion in and form an educated opinion, but I do have a propensity for calling stupid people stupid. So that's my disclaimer. And I like to put that out there. Because people are like, you just call somebody stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. It was a stupid statement. Like, how are you going to say, Barack Obama didn't do anything? Like, that's stupid. Like, there's proof that he's 400 accomplishments. And the thing is that people look at me and they're like, oh, well, you're an Obama fan. I'm a fan of a person that does right for this country. I'm a fan of a person. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. If you have the best interest of everybody in this country at heart, because I'm one of those people, then, more power to you. And that's just why I'm the way that I am. So if you are going to come and check my timeline out, just be warned, I'm kind of brutal. But I give just as well as I can take. So, if people get on there and they want to call me stupid, that's fine. Or if they want to call me, or if they want to say I'm wrong, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's all about just getting information and trying to form educated opinions. Because at the end of the day, unless you're sitting in the room, all you have is an opinion. That's it.
The word that you put out there, educated, that seems to be something that's lacking for a lot of people. Because it seems like I cringe when I look at my social media feeds, and it's like, do I really want to say something to this person? Do I really want to give them a...
I don't even have options. And it's not, and I understand, like, it's not, I like to break it down. I've spent 20 years as a chef. I mean, I'm still a chef. Once you're a chef, you're always a chef, It's like riding a bicycle. You don't forget how to ride a bicycle. But before I 100% retired, and that's the thing for me, it's like, I retired from cooking in restaurants, but I am at a point in my life, in my career, where I can choose who I want to cook for. Like, if you come to me and you can't tell me how you came to me to do a party or an event for you, I'm not cooking for you, because I don't have the patience, the desire, or the inclination to want to run after you, negotiate with you. If you come to me, you know what charges are, and that's what it is. There's no, can you hook me up, because I don't do hookups. But because of my marketing company, I spend about, I'd say, 75% of my time online. And when I tell you, I personally want to have an IQ test. Like, I wish it was like, in order to get on social media, you should have an IQ test. I mean, if you want to be an observer on social media, you may not need an IQ test. But when you want to have conversations with, I think you really need to have an IQ test, because the level of just crazy stuff that I've seen has been, when I say absolutely, like, I don't even get it. And it literally leaves me speechless. Because it's like, how did you form that thought to write that, to then send it out to all of the people that are going to see it? Because the thing that a lot of people, because my company focuses on social media, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is, like, hey, yeah, you may send a tweet out, but when that gets retweeted, considering, like, let's say I'm following you, let's just say, and you have 10 followers, right? And I'm the one verified account that's following you, and you tweet it. I may retweet it, I mean, but then I retweet it to the 16,000 or the 20,000 people that I see, and then my friend who has another 100,000 retweets. So nothing is just in your group. Nothing is in that space. And it's so crazy, the things that I see, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And I do. Sometimes I just turn my computer off for like an hour so I can regroup once I've been bombarded nonstop. I'll give you one. There was one where, let me see if I can, there was one where this lady, she sent a tweet, and I just happened to see it because somebody in my group retweeted it, and because I have Democrats, Republicans, and Independents that follow me, and I follow about, I'd say 10% of the people that follow me, I follow back, and I've actually got people that have said to me, well, why won't you follow me? Because you have no bio and you have no picture. Like, I'm not going to conversate with an egg. I'm sorry. Like, even if you put up, I'm just here for the laugh on your bio, at least it's something for me to see. You know what I mean? So I know that you're a person, because with all of the bots and the fake news and everything that's going out there, I want to know who I'm conversating with. So when everything started happening, this lady wrote, yeah, I can't wait for all the immigrants to get out of my country. So my biggest thing, what gets my goat is immigration. And the reason why immigration gets my goat was because I was an immigrant. I came here legally, but there was a period, there was like a 2-year period in between me getting my permanent residency that I was out of status, because once you go to get your permanent residency, until they send you, technically you're out of status. And because my partner traveled so much, because my partner was in the Army, I was out of status for 2 years. So I know the stress that goes along with being out of status. I also know the relief that a person gets from becoming a permanent resident or becoming a legal citizen. So I know both sides of the spectrum. So immigration is something that I'm extremely passionate about. So I said to her, so is your name Chasing Bears? And she's like, no, my name's not Chasing Bears. I'm like, well then, technically, you're an immigrant. Like, just don't, like, what? And my thing is this. In a way, I do agree with the fact that there needs to be some kind of process put in place to help illegal immigrants, okay? And my argument has always been, if the government, period, Republican, independent, whoever it is, if you were to give amnesty, let's say there's 10 million immigrants here. We know that there's more, but I can't add that many. I can't add what is false number. So we're going to go with 10 million. Let's say there's 10 million immigrants here. And you said to them, okay, I'm going to give you legal status to work. What you've done in that moment is you've given them a social security number, which now they have to pay taxes on, which now stops employers from paying them below minimum wage, and now gives everybody an operating chance. Okay, you've got a social security number. Now you've been here for 10 years. Okay, so you have to pay back taxes, even if you charge them 20% of the back taxes that they owe for the 10 years that they've worked. People know how much money they're making, okay? Whether you make $1 million or $100, you know how much money you make. Now, are they all going to be honest and say, I made, $35,000 or $100,000? Probably not. But at the end of the day, if you get 20% off of, let's say, $35,000. That's $7,000 that you're putting in to taxes. They can get their permanent residency if you move, if you say, okay, if you don't pay these back taxes, and mind you, still have to pay your back taxes, and you're still getting taxed for the moment you get your Social Security number. So if you don't pay your back taxes in a year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or however long you set that payment plan, then you don't get your permanent residency. I'm not saying it would work, but can you imagine how much money would be put into the U.S. Treasury if they did something like that? And then for the ones that decide that they don't want to participate in the program, and you round them up and send them back because they have no concern of actually participating in America and being a productive member of society. But if you have people willing to do that, why not do it? That's just my opinion. It actually sounds better on paper than it does when I say it, because I can actually show you the real. I can actually show the real numbers. But immigration is very, very important to me. And at the end of the day, I feel like we've lost that. I feel like there's been that loss of what America really was built on. You know, I've dealt with so many people on immigration, and they're like, I hope they build the wall. Okay, they build the wall. Let's say they build the wall. And they stop Mexicans and whoever else from coming into the country, right? Let's use Mexicans as an example. We stop Mexicans from coming into the country. Who's going to pick the spinach, the organic spinach that everybody has to have? Who's going to pick the strawberries and the raspberries? Who's going to do the landscaping? I'm not saying every Mexican that comes to the country does that, but the majority of the jobs that most Americans deem beneath them are done by immigrants into this country. And I actually started working because, you know, my 10 years of success was prevailed by 4 years of complete hell, okay? When I first came to this country, I worked as a dishwasher, even though I had a degree in culinary arts. I worked as a dishwasher. I had like 6 jobs when I first came to this country. Okay? I know what it's like to do crappy work. And it's very demeaning, and it's extremely humiliating. I've met so many people, like Cubans when I lived in Florida. I met so many Cubans that came over that were like doctors, nurses, journalists, that were working as housekeepers, babysitters, gardeners, just so that they could put food on their family's table, you know. And then there's this myth that as an immigrant, we come here to get all of this free stuff from the U.S. government. And I'm just like, you don't. Unless you come here as a refugee or as a through asylum, you don't get anything from the U.S. government. I'm sorry, I'm running off, and I start on this tangent, and I just can't stop. So I apologize. Let me stop myself now.
Not a problem. I hear you, and I understand, and you know, it's just.
I just feel like we're walking down a really, really dangerous path, and it's not a path that is going to be beneficial for everybody.
Very, very true.
And it scares me.
I echo exactly what you're saying. It feels like it's just, I don't know, it's definitely a scary feeling right now for a lot of people.
You know the thing that scares me the most is the last time the Republicans stole an election, and I'm going to use the word stole, okay? The last time the Republicans stole an election was Bush versus Gore. 2 years later, we were in a war. I read, before I even turn my computer on in the morning, I've already read the New York Times, the Washington Post, the LA Times. I've read my country's newspapers, the Bahamian Tribune and the Guardian. Before I even start work, I've read newspapers. I've, watched CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera. Like, I consume news. And what scares me right now is the fact that this is a country that is still trying to recuperate from not one, but two wars that we were put in 2002. We're still trying to recuperate from that. And we now have a leader that does not understand that. We now have a leader that does not understand the law that families feel. Not only was my partner in the armed forces in the Army, I have friends who are in, the Air Force. I have friends that were in, the Navy. Family members of mine were, also in the Army as Rangers and helicopter pilots and so forth and so on. So when you see, and they have friends that die and stuff like that, and you get to see up close, so the tragedy that war brings, like, I am so afraid of what is going to happen and what may happen. And it's not me being a girl or a chick, like everybody, you're being a chick, you're over exaggerating it. It's just like, no, I'm not. I pay attention. Right now we're in talks to back Russia for Syria. That scares me. That scares me a lot because then my partner has to go to war. That scares my two stepbrothers have to go to war. And that scares me.
Totally understand.
And it should scare everybody. It should scare everybody.
I definitely feel you're good. You're good. I appreciate the honesty, forthcoming, and something that is just, I don't know. I think a lot of people, we have legit concerns about our president of the United States right now, and people just don't seem to see that. I mean, at the end of the day, we agree to disagree, and there's a lot of people who feel like,
And that's my thing. It's like, you don't have to agree with, like, if everybody agreed with everybody, there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me. The only thing I'm asking you to do is not, like, when I was growing up, and I'm sure, your mom or your grandmother would have said to you, the greatest trick the devil ever did was convince people that he wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest trick that our president, our 45th president, did was convince his masses. I'm all crazy because I actually know people that voted for him, and they're not crazy. I think they had a momentary lapse of judgment, but I don't think that they're crazy. But the thing is that he managed to convince them to believe what they see, not to believe what they hear, and not to believe what they know. That right there is powerful on a level that has never been seen before throughout the history of American politics. You have people that will see something on CNN, and I'm not saying CNN is the least biased news station in like 7 different countries outside of America. So there has to be some truth to what they say. And he has managed to convince these people, that nothing that is seen on CNN is real. He's managed to convince them that nothing they read in the New York Times is real. And if that doesn't scare people, I don't know what will.
Exactly. Well, Chef, it was great chatting with you, getting caught up with you.
You
Thank
too, sweetie. It's always a
and
pleasure.
and hopefully next time it won't take another 7, 8 years to get you back on the show.
No,
Uh,
man. Honestly, it has been, when I tell you, it has been just crazy. It has literally been non-stop. Just non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. And the thing for me is, it's like, I want to get to a point, and I knew, I was like, okay, because I'm going to tell you how old I am. So brace yourself. I'm 40. And I always said to myself, when I got to 40, I wanted to be able to be doing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, and when I wanted to do it. So now that I'm doing what I love to do, which is I'm talking about food, I'm consulting, cooking when I feel like it, I'm doing my marketing and all that other stuff. So now I'm just like, I'm cruising, because at this point, I've met my life goal, and I'm happy.
well, I'm
So
happy.
anytime you want me, I'm there for you, babe.
I'm happy for the fact that you're happy, and
Oh, thank
considering,
you.
I'm just gonna put it out there right now, Chef Apple 2020. Just
No, they won't let me do it. They won't let me do it. Why?
Oh,
Because one, I'm not a natural born American
oh,
citizen. Number one, but
oh.
number two, I feel like I'm better off being that person that kind of works behind the scenes, like helping. Because what I've done is I put a call out, whether you know. I used to be a Republican, and everybody's like, oh, you have no party loyalty. And I'm like, no, I don't have party loyalty to people that are willing to basically tell me what I can and cannot do about my body. And I don't have loyalty to people that are more interested in party over country. And it's hard, but, I've become an independent. Basically, if you're a candidate that holds country over party, like I put out there, like, look, I'll build your brand. I will help you build your marketing. I will help you do whatever you can or whatever you need to do to build your image. They put that out there, and I'm working with a couple of candidates right now for the primaries in 2 years. So that's what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm better suited behind the scenes just because my mouth gets me into trouble a lot. And I don't need people completely 100% hating me out in the open. I have other people to worry about and people concerned for. Even being as vocal as I am on Twitter, I've received, like, people send me direct messages and threaten me. I thought you couldn't send people direct messages. So, I have to be very careful because it's not just me that I have to worry about. So I'm going to stay out of that, but I have no problem helping from behind the scenes. So if you want to run in 2020, I got you.
I'm
See how
t-
I turned that around on you? See how I turned that around for you?
I am not suited to be president of the United States whatsoever. I'm
I just
not.
hope it's not Kanye.
I'm not. I'm not the most political savvy person. I would have no chance in hell whatsoever. So
Yeah,
I'm
people
just,
didn't think Donald Trump had a
yeah,
chance. At this point,
I
anything's up for
know.
grabs.
Scary but true. That is, yeah.
Scary but true.
You have a great night. You have a great
You too,
weekend.
sweetie.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much once again.
Absolutely. You have a good night.
Alrighty. You
Uh,
too. Bye-bye.
that was Chef Apple joining me on the show. Literally joined me for the